Sadie from the Porterhouse, and this is an edition of Hometown Oddities. I'm going to tell you the story of the Misenheimer family cemetery located in North Carolina at the Carolina Mall. It was one of the things that blew my mind when I moved here. My husband took me to the mall and kind of casually said, "Hey, there's a cemetery here." Not near the mall, at the mall. It is between the food court and Belk. It's crazy. So after the American Revolution, the U.S. government did not have a lot of money to hand out. They were not really able to pay out their veterans, but what they did have an abundance of was land. I mean, they had just been through the revolution. All this place was theirs, so they could give it out as needed. So there was a veteran, Jacob Misenheimer, and he had been in the Revolutionary War. And as a token, he was given this plot of land in what is now Concord, North Carolina. Now, Jacob died in 1821, at which point he was buried on the plot. And eventually several other of his relatives were buried there. So as far as we know, there are 22 known graves there. They had their whole family there. They had a house. There were babies born there. I mean, it was a whole deal. There was generations going on. So to my knowledge, there is at least one relative still living, Mary Burgess. Now, according to Mary, she and the family were pressured into selling the lot of land. The city or county or state, whoever it was, really wanted it all to be developed. They wanted to build it all up, as they do. So they were pressured into selling the land, and eventually they did, with a stipulation. The developers were allowed to demolish the houses and any other structures, but they had to leave the cemetery. They could not disturb the graves, a fact that still stands today. Now, Mary was even born in a house that is now the parking lot of the mall. I mean, that's how far this family goes back. And construction actually started in 1968, and the mall opened in September of 1972. It's still standing today. It's still got all the bells and whistles of any other mall, really, along with an extra bell and whistle. Something that most malls don't have, a cemetery. Now, this cemetery still belongs to the family and actually is still being used. As far as I know, the most recent burials in that cemetery were in 2014 and 2015. So it is still, I guess you could call it active. I mean, it is still standing. You walk by the food court, and before you get to Belk, boom, cemetery. 22 graves. Just there, just at the mall. My husband is local to the area, and for him growing up, there was really nothing weird about it. It was just, the graveyard at the mall. But as he got a little older, he started to realize that, most malls don't have that. But there it is. That is the Misenheimer Family Cemetery at Carolina Mall in Concord, North Carolina. Now make sure you like and subscribe.